Yeah, so approaching women in 2025 is dead. It's been dead since like 2020. Probably really since like 2019, 2018, around the time social media really just really took off and blew up. That's of course when the social dynamics of how people interacted with each other and all that changed. Um, because you could just sit in the comfort of your home and get your pick and choose right there with the device in your hand, your phone. Through dating sites, dating apps, different platforms, different even streaming services. Men get to pick and choose on women, but especially for a woman, they have guys coming at them left and right, up and down, to and fro. Like it's guys constantly getting at women. I see women say things like they rarely get approached and they're pretty and successful and stuff like that. And I would say that's far from the truth. It's just when you're not a guy that women find physically attractive. Yeah, but when you're a guy that women don't really find physically appealing, physically attractive like that, when they look at you in the first few seconds, milliseconds, they don't, feel this dopamine rush, butterflies in the stomach, the hairs on their neck don't stand up, or shivers going up their spine. If they don't feel that shock from looking at you, then you're pretty much non-existent. So that's why the woman that complain about, oh, guys don't approach me, this and that, boom, boom, which a lot of guys probably don't, because a lot of guys they have awakened and they understand what it is now. They understand it's a complete waste of time. So maybe they probably are telling the truth as far as men not approaching them. But I'm pretty sure there's men somewhere in their life, trying to give them little, subtle signs or clues that they're interested and stuff like that. And like I said, if they're not the guys that they're looking for, then hey, they're non-existent. They're gonna get overlooked, and yeah, they're gonna be given the cold shoulder, and boom. And they have every right. Women have they have their preferences. It's so the same as a guy have his preferences. But I would say it's a lot harder for guys overall versus a woman, as far as out here in the I guess the quote dating scene. It's gotten a lot more harder for dudes, man. The guys, I guess they say the top select of dudes, and I'm not even talking about just the dudes that walk around in suits looking like millionaires and looking like hustle influencers on Instagram. Of course, you know what I'm saying, they could fall into that category. But I'm just talking about just your everyday dudes, you know what I'm saying? They just was always like just a natural womanizer. Maybe they just a real street dude, or maybe he's just tall. Sometimes just being tall, that could be the only thing you got going for yourself, but it'll work. Nigga lame as hell, but he tall, so boom. Girls, they're just automatically gonna view him as eye candy because they're attracted to things that tower over them. I guess it gives them a sense of protection or whatever subconsciously. But yeah, so but a lot of guys don't fit into that category. A lot of guys do, but most guys are really just, I guess, quote average. And it sucks that we have to categorize different groups like that, select average and below average. But that's just the way the world has come now. But yeah, if you a dude and you kind of feel like you're alone, that the section or the bracket of being average, then you're gonna find yourself going through a lot more loops and holes. And it's not that you can't get nothing. It's like, is it even worth the hassle? Is it even worth the stress and the day in and day out, just tug of war ass shit that you got to do sometimes just to get the bare minimum, just to get just the crumbs, the scraps, or just something mid or whatever. I mean, if you content with an A, but I'm just telling you, man, as an average guy, and you might not want to view yourself as average, but you got to look at your receipts, you got to look at your records, you got to look at your history, man, your experiences, what they speak for you. You can look in the mirror, and that's the brutal truth. You can look in the mirror all day and say, yeah, this and that, and I feel this way, or whatever, and that's good. You know what I'm saying? That's good for your mental health and for your self esteem. But your results, they speak for you. They hold more weight than just some affirmations and some self positive thoughts about yourself. But yeah. So if you know deep down inside, like women, you just not a guy that women like really flock to or whatever. You might have had your little fair share here and there, maybe every blue moon. Some of y'all probably in droughts, probably ain't had none in 5 years, 8 years, or maybe 3 years. Some of y'all go months without some or whatever. Maybe some of y'all say y'all don't care or whatever. And I don't blame you, man. Sometimes it be a headache dealing with these women sometimes. So I mean, some guys feel like, man, it's a headache, man. I'm chilling, and some guys say they chilling, but really deep down inside, they just it's a coping mechanism. They really trying to deal with the pain of that they're really undesired, so they gotta tell themselves they don't care. So, but if you find yourself kind of relating with that, then you probably just um yeah, you probably amongst the quote average, or just you just below average. You probably just not even attractive at all to women. Like I said, you could perceive yourself however you want to perceive yourself. That's good for your own mental health. But in the real world, people are going to treat you based off of how they view you physically. People that are more conventionally or generally attractive, they get handed more opportunities in life. People are more receptive to you. They will come to you with ideas. They will initiate conversations with you and stuff like that. If you hardly get those, trust me, people are very social beings. If you don't really get that and you haven't gotten that much in your life, then you kind of probably along the below average category. Um, if you a guy, you've gotten your fair share or whatever, but like I said, it's like every blue moon. It feel like you have to um, it's like you playing tug of war out here on difficulty mode just to get just a little bit. Then you might be just along the average section or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and you could even be like quote good looking, but it's just the odds are just stacked against you for whatever reason. Maybe you got one thing working for you and everything else is getting in the way. You might got a couple features that's kind of benefiting you, but the other stuff is just it's just not enough to really get you over the finish line. So yeah, you're gonna get a little attention. You might get a couple flirtatious or whatever, um, advances from women, but it is very little to none. So it's kind of like you got hope, but it's like it is not enough to really satisfy your self esteem as a man, because end of the day, you kind of feel like it's bullshit. Like, man, this ain't really nothing for real, because you're seeing how other guys, getting they just get serenaded, they get showered, um, with compliments and attention and approval by women just for existing. And if you're in that category, then you will be considered, just generally attractive to women. Everywhere you go, a woman is bound to stare at you like she just seen the Son of God. She's looking at you, and she wants to start a conversation with you and stuff like that. See, most guys ain't getting that. So consider yourself really lucky and blessed. A lot of dudes, especially not from no pretty chick. I'm talking about if you out and about, women just coming up to you and talking to you and actually want to engage in conversation with you. Most guys are not getting that. So a lot of guys are really kind of operating under the average category nowadays. And there's a lot of dudes that's in the below average. So I say all that to say approaching is pointless if you're not a generally attractive person. And I'm talking about just go off of your experiences. How have women treated you your whole life? Some of y'all may just have gotten a glow up. Maybe you just started kind of stepping into your maturity as far as how you conduct yourself. Maybe you kind of found a certain look that works for yourself. Maybe you build a little muscle mass on yourself. So okay, I guess you kind of, I guess, quote, glowing up, and you kind of notice some more attention. But deep down, man, you know how you were viewed and perceived your whole life. Because when you just a quote select person, a blessed by nature type of dude, then like you would have been a womanizer since you was in diapers. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah. So if you kind of in an average category, especially if you're below average, approaching women is probably going to be a waste of time. I'm not trying to sway you from doing it. I don't want to sound like I'm discouraging you. But a lot of y'all know this, because a lot of y'all probably have tried to approach women and stuff like that. And it's not that you don't have to quote confidence. Approaching is not that hard. I mean, it could be a little nerve wracking or whatever, but it really just depends on, like I said, your experiences is going to shape your perception of things. So if you constantly have gotten rejected or treated by a woman a certain way in your life, then yeah, you're gonna kind of hesitate, stepping to a woman or being around a woman. You're gonna be like, you don't know how they feel about you, you don't know what they think about you or whatever. It is not that you just, choose to think that way. Your experiences have shaped your mindset into thinking that way. It's like you really have no choice. Like I said, your experiences and your results, those speak heavy volumes. But approaching women as a quote average guy or whatever, you might get, your little fair share, and I say might with a grain of salt. Like, just take that with a grain of salt. But you might get a little bit of play, maybe. If you really touch upon your appearance, you just really just bought on the luck in that situation. You got to be at the right time, right place. Um, the girl just got to be just vulnerable and just open and receptive to you, and willing to be open minded or whatever. But you probably not going to be her first pick as far as her preferences. But she might just be nice. She might be open for conversation. A lot of women just sometimes you've gotten to where you've conversed with a woman and talked with a woman, and you thought you was going somewhere. But the whole time she probably just being nice. She might have gave you her number, but lo and behold, if you text her, you already know what's going to happen. You're probably not going to get a response back. And you had just spoken. You just spoke to her in the grocery store probably like 35 minutes ago. You text her, boom, nothing there. And you thinking she gave you a wrong number, but nah, she gave you the right number. She just know whatever text come through, whatever, she know it's probably yours. If it's an unknown number, and she not gonna respond to it. Yeah, that's that dude in the grocery store. Yeah, boom, in a way with you. But a lot of women, they just but they're nice. They'll be nice. They'll be cordial. To the average guys or whatever. And if you're below average, if you're just like, and I ain't gonna lie, this shit could be spiritual. Sometimes you could be a decent looking dude, but it's just something on you that just cause women just to be repulsed by you for whatever reason. You might have the spirit of rejection on you somewhere in your life, and women just be repulsed by you. You don't know what you're doing wrong. You're like, damn. You look in the mirror, you're like, man, it looks straight, man. Like, damn, why I feel like I'm fighting tooth and nail for just for a woman? Like, yeah, man, it might be a spiritual thing going on, but that's for a deeper conversation. I'm not gonna touch on all that right now, but if you're below average in looks or whatever, I mean, you just your looks ain't doing it for you. They never did it for you. Um, Trust me, man. Women don't even look at you. They don't even acknowledge your presence and stuff like that. I mean, what would be the point of approaching women in that position? It's a waste of time, man. It's a waste of time. And because the main reason it's a waste of time approaching women is because women are going to approach guys that they want. And if they're, I guess, quote, shy to approach them, they're going to make it easy for the guy to initiate conversation with them. So a woman might not necessarily make a bold approach to a dude she find attractive, but she'll put herself in his vicinity, in his path. Or she might even just spark a conversation by asking a dumbass question. Just to, get him to talk, and boom, boom, boom. While he's talking, she's playing with her hair. She'll make it obvious. And him being a player, him being natural with it, he'll know how to go from there, if you want to proceed with that or not. But when you're average or below average, you're probably not going to get that much often. When you're along the average side, you're probably going to have to take what you can get. And if you're below average, you might not get nothing, bro. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. In 2022 and up, man, it's rough out here, man. The friction on the stove is turned the fuck up, man. All the way up, out of the ballpark. So if you think it's a game, man, hey, just go out there, man. A lot of y'all scared to go approaching. A lot of y'all wouldn't go approaching if someone put a gun to your head, because you already know. You got anxiety, you're nervous, you already know how the woman gonna treat your ass. So don't sit here and act like you don't know what a motherfucker talking about. But yeah. So I mean, I've approached a lot of times, man. Some of y'all already know. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I do it for fun. but I know where I stand. I'm kind of like, I call myself, I would say, beautiful ugly. Like I feel like I'm like a decent ugly type of dude. Like, and I hate to call myself ugly, but I just got to go off of my experiences. It's kind of like I get a little fair share, but it's like it's just not really a lot to show for. It's like I have to go through a lot of bullshit before I get something like okay or whatever. And it's nothing like bad, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? You know. And for me, I got to use dating apps pretty much. I got to use dating sites and stuff like that to possibly connect with a woman. In real life, it's just, I don't know, it's just my presence. It just doesn't do it, man. That spirit of rejection, it just weighs on a motherfucker strong. But you know, I don't really worry. I don't really like stress about it as much like I probably did before in the past or whatever. It is what it is. But I'm aware. You gotta be aware of your situation. You gotta be aware of where you stand, so you're not out here hurting yourself, man. That stuff is not good for your self esteem as a man, because a man's confidence comes from how women validate him. I don't care what nobody says, man. Anybody who says or who chooses to beg to differ is bullshit, man. Lying out of your teeth. Your confidence as a man is based off of how women treat you, how women perceive you. If women um want to fuck you, if women want to be around you, that makes a man confident. That's why everything a man does is pretty much to appease, to attract a woman. Get nice things, get luxury things, the flash expensive items, stuff like that. 'Cause women are naturally attracted to, glitter, gold, and flashy things. It's just how they are. Some a little more conservative than others, but at the end of the day, man, they like a sign of a guy who could provide, a guy who look like he got something going for himself. And this typically where the attractive guy, he falls into that category. You know, um, and they want the best looking offspring possible. I mean, don't nobody want no ugly ass kids. I know I don't. If I was the one to have kids, you know. But see, with me, a girl that would probably um reject me in real life probably would like give me a little chance on a dating app. Like I said, my real life presence, it just don't really do it for me a lot or whatever. Not that I'm trying all day every day. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care to be out there doing all that bullshit. It's a waste of time anyway. But I've seen enough to kind of know where I stand. I feel like the girls that probably have rejected me in the past or whatever, I've matched with girls that look kind of similar to them on dating apps. You know what I'm saying? I mean, on dating apps, you're going strictly off of looks because you don't know that person's character or whatever. You looking at their pictures. It's pure physical. That's the whole game anyway. It's pure physical first. There has to be lust, initial lust, and then everything else falls through. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So approaching women is a waste of time, bro. They're gonna tell you, a typical response. I have a boyfriend. That's just their go-to. They've been pretty much conditioned to throw that out at you to kind of get you out their face. It's a nice way of rejecting you. I guess they feel more comfortable saying that than saying no. Now some will tell you no. And nah, I'm good. No, no, no. Some of the more colder rejections is, the cold shoulder. They act like you're not there. You standing there looking like a damn boo boo the fool, looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Um, like me, I ain't gonna lie. When I was doing approaching and stuff, I try to catch a girl when she's on her own. Like all that approaching and around people and stuff. It's like a woman leave you no choice sometimes, man. Because sometimes you don't know how they're gonna react. So it's like you rather just catch them like, when it's just her. Like if it's in the aisle or something, boom. You know what I'm saying? I don't come like weird with it. I be respectful, or whatever. But hey, you a man, shit. You see something you like, I feel like, hey, you got every right to express yourself. Just be respectful about it. Boom. But sometimes you don't know how they gonna take it. You don't know what kind of mood they in. I mean, there's been guys that's been clowning on social media. Woman done recorded them. Like, oh, look at this lame ass, herb ass nigga approaching me. You know what I'm saying? Look at the shoes he wearing, thinking he could approach me. Like this is how their egos be. So a lot of guys, even good looking guys, have stopped approaching women. Like, man, they be doing too much. So approaching women is a waste of time because it's like if they're not making it easy for you, if they're not coming to you, it's like it's best not to even go out of your way to go and approach them. Because if they really like you, trust me, they're gonna make it easy for you. They might send a friend to come and, you know, direct your attention towards her, like, oh yeah, my girlfriend over there, she said you cute, boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Girls get very aggressive. Um, especially like they're different cultures. I know like with Latinas, they very aggressive. When they like a man, they get very aggressive. I've experienced that myself just very few times. Like I said, I don't got it like that, but I've experienced my fair share. So I know I know the signs when a girl does find some kind of initial attraction to you, and I know the signs when a woman's repulsed by you. Like, no, like, yeah, they give you looks of disgust. They give you these looks like they looking at shit at the bottom of their shoe. Yeah, man, you could be a decent looking dude. You could be a decent looking dude, but it's like women egos get boosted. They just can't help themselves. Sometimes it's just that's how they reject dudes. They just gotta give you that disgusted look. You know, guys from all shapes and all from sizes, from all different sides of the walks in life have been rejected crazy, man. But and usually that's because he went out of his way to approach her. So that's why I feel like approaching women is just a waste of time, man. It's a waste of time. And I'm not the only one. There's plenty of dudes that can attest and they can agree with this. It's a waste of time, man. It's really no point. You know, you don't know what she got going on. She could be married. She could have a boyfriend, like I said, or even if she don't, she gonna tell you she got a boyfriend. And even if you do get a number, that don't mean nothing. That's not even the tip of the iceberg. That's just that just says, hey, you just wasn't so butt ugly to where I just ugh. You was like you just like yeah, all right, it's something. I give you my number just so you can get out my face. I'm kind of in a good mood today. I ain't gonna give you the cold shoulder. Here's my number, but she just gonna know not to text your ass back. you know. But like I said, you could be a person in the gray area to where, like I said, you kind of like beautiful ugly to where you get your fair share, but it's mixed signals. So you fucked up about how you should feel about yourself. Your self esteem has taken a hit because you've had a little bit of fair share, a little bit of signs that women find you attractive, but then you kind of had a majority of signs that women don't. They're not like just crazy about how you look. They're not really that attracted to you. So when you're in that position, that middle area, because you got, I guess, the quote super attractive, and then you got that gray area, and then you got, I guess, just they're ugly. When you're in that gray area, when you're a person that get mixed signals from women, it's hard, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like your self-esteem is gonna waver. So to protect your self-esteem and your mental health, man, it's best just to stay in your lane, man. Just focus on yourself, man. And just see what works for you. Like me, I use dating apps and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? When I'm in the mood, I just do that. Matter of fact, I just matched with something that looked real nice. I ain't gonna lie. One of my subscribers, I showed him. He already, he seen it. The woman sent me a picture with her ass arched up. That shit, man, look fat. But I ain't gonna lie, it's a single mom though. But she looked straight. But if I was to approach this woman in the store, I'm telling you, man, she would have rejected me. I feel that way. I hate that I gotta say that so confidently, but I feel like I just know that's what would happen. Because in real time, in real life, ain't no telling how she feel at the moment. Maybe I guess I quote approached her wrong, but on the dating app, boom, she like how I look, boom, all right. Now she sending me sexual messages and stuff, and she want to fuck, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, she 30, 31, 32. So she older me by what, 5 years or something like that. So, yeah, man. So, hey, it is what it is, man. But I'm telling you, man, all that approaching shit is a waste of time, man. It's just a waste of time. I'm good. I'm good on it. I'm good on it. I don't mind complimenting a woman every blue moon or whatever, but I don't expect nothing out of it, man. I guess, be somewhat appreciative that she at least is flattered by my compliment or whatever, and boom. But all that asking for a number, asking for a social media, which is a waste of time. Don't ask a girl for a social media. And that shows you willing to be a fan. And she gonna treat you like a fan and a follower. But then it's like you damned if you do. It's like really a lose-lose because then you ask for a number. It's like, oh, that's forbidden. That's personal. I don't give out my number. You ask for social media, then it's like, all right, you get thrown to the abyss with all the other simps and good guys, and all, you know what I'm saying, the friend zone motherfuckers and the followers. So it's like, hey, like I'm saying, it's just a waste of time, man. If girls not coming to you, bro, just leave it alone, man. Leave it alone and let it be what it be. Let it be gone with the wind. Let it be gone, like Forrest Gump, man. But yeah, man. So that's my take on this. Approaching women in 2025, is it worth it? Hell no. And I've heard a couple people say it before, and I thought about it. I guess it's truth to it when they said they don't really see guys approaching in real life like that. They hardly ever see guys approaching. There's all this talk on YouTube and different people talking about it, all these dating coaches and shit. But in real life, you hardly see dudes approaching women. I've heard this from two dudes personally. So, you know, and it's true, man. Um, I'm trying to recall last time I seen a guy approaching a woman in public. It's probably been a long time. I mean, I done seen guys catcalling that woman and stuff, but that's just because they with their niggas, they hyped up, they in the mood, you know what I'm saying? They probably drinking. Hey, shawty, boom, 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 boom. And she still, yeah, she probably just keep walking. And dude look like he could be a hood street nigga. I'm like, motherfuckers just get rejected just cause. Like, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter who you are. Women, they'll just reject you just cause. They're not obligated for anything. They're not obligated to give you any play. But some women, they just do that shit out of spite, man. Some people just, they do it just maliciously and just unnecessarily just rude, man. That's why a lot of guys like, man, I'm good, man. These women be doing too much with their rejections, going overboard with it, and it's like, it's not worth it, man. It's just not worth the hassle, even just quote dating nowadays. It's a waste of time. If you ain't got 10,000 at least in your bank, or 5,000 in your bank account, they don't even get involved, especially with a girl who feel like she popping her shit. You just don't waste your time, man. Either take what you can get if you're content with that, or just be content being alone, man, and just focus on your money. But all that trying to go out and searching for quote love and a connection, all right, man, you'll be out here getting played. But in the meantime, all that approaching shit, in between or whatever, all that, nah, man, just forget all that. Just kill all that noise, man.